Is the VET token about to get listed on Coinbase? Let's get into it. So, Chris, this has been a long-awaited process, and things are heating up a little bit when it comes to VET being listed on Coinbase. And as we get into this video, guys, if you find it useful, informative, maybe even entertaining at times, hit that like button. We both really do appreciate it. And as always, if you're new to the channel and you're wanting to stay up to date with all of those hidden gems and new cryptocurrencies, do consider subscribing to the channel. By subscribing, you will be kept up to date with everything we do here at Cheeky Crypto. It's free and you'll stay well informed, so why not? Right, with that being said, Chris, is there anything else you would like to add before we jump on down to the desktop and start talking about why we think a Coinbase listing is just around the corner?
So yeah, just one thing, let us know at home whether you think that Coinbase is going to list VeChain. Really interested to know, but yeah, Nick, let's dive right into it and look at why we've got this hunch that it's actually happening.
Absolutely. Right. So Coinbase have been talking about launching, or have been investigating, I should say, the VeChain VET token for quite some time. I think the last kind of update that Coinbase actually sent out, I think was around July of 2020, and the VET token was on that list of things that they were looking at. And why this has been kind of bubbling up for a while. It's a couple of things that have happened in the background. We obviously had Sunny Lu, the CEO of VeChain, on an interview, actually kind of mentioned or was asked about the potential to have the VET token listed on Coinbase, and he said, yeah, everything's kind of there waiting to go, the integrations there, and it's been investigated by Coinbase, right? So there's your first kind of hunch. It was mentioned by Sunny Lu himself, and he's just saying it's a matter of time. His exact words were, it's a matter of time. So that's really interesting, right, Chris? Because you've got Sunny Lu saying it's just a matter of time. Everyone's been talking about it for what feels like a very long time. We obviously had the initial kind of blog post from Coinbase back in July 2020. And then, something else also has cropped up, hasn't it, Chris?
Yeah, so I do a lot of digging, right? And I've been on Coinbase since like October, Coinbase Watch. If you remember all the way back to the early days, Nick, when I was like, you know what, I'm keeping an eye, and we did have a feeling that it wasn't going to be happening anytime soon back then, but now I've stumbled across a relatively new sort of wallet, I guess is the way to describe it, that is uniquely sat between Binance and I forget the name of the other one.
Crypto.com.
Crypto.com.
Yeah. So there's this fresh wallet right here, right? So we're on a VeChain Stats, right? So you can look this up, VeChain Stats / rich list. Okay. And what this does is it shows you in, order of those size wallets, right? So you have Binance 2, the cold wallet storage up here. This is 15.6 billion VET tokens, okay? And then in the number 2 spot is this new wallet that's cropped up. And here sits 2.5 billion VET tokens, okay? And it's just sat there, not really doing anything. So interesting enough, it's got no name attached to it. We don't know anything about it, but it's just cropped up 2.5 billion VET tokens. And underneath that one, you've got crypto.com at 1.7 billion, OceanX 1.6 billion. Then there's another unnamed one down here at 1.45 billion. Then you've got BitVivo down here at 1.4. Then you've got Upbit. You've got Binance US, another unnamed wallet here. You then got Huobi, KuCoin. It's basically you're kind of listed with all of these exchanges. You're not a Binance 3 warm wallet. You've got an ecosystem invested there. You've got Bitfinex, Bithumb, Binance, Bittrex, and the list kind of goes on and on and on, right? And it kind of dwindles down as you go lower and lower through the list here. Bithumb, big one or whatever, right? So what's really interesting about this is it's a big player. Okay, it's a big institutional player here at that number 2 spot with 2.5 billion VET tokens, but we don't know who that is. So we obviously have all of these various different pieces of information coming together. And this is wild speculation because we don't know for sure it's going to happen. We don't. But when we have Sunny Liu talking about it, in an interview saying that, and it's from this particular piece here, which we dropped yesterday. And this one here is basically the possibility of VET being listed by Coinbase. Liu states the following, basically that the exchange is evaluating the token, and that the executive believes that being part of the platform will give them a lot of exposure, and attraction to their business applications, which it absolutely will, right? It's the easiest place for any newcomer to go. And he says he feels that he doesn't feel rushed and that it's only a matter of time. So things are interesting there. And obviously then you have this wallet, 2.5 billion cropping up. And of course, the fact that they've been talking about it since July 2020 in their blog post. So we've seen quite a few tokens take stage finally, including things like 𝗕𝗓, for example, getting listed on Coinbase recently. And I do feel it's only really a matter of time before the VET token actually finally makes it over to the platform. And this is speculation, as I say, Chris, but I think it's also a bit of education there. We're trying to join as many dots together as we can. And I'm hopeful that unnamed wallet, Chris, is Coinbase. But what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, if you look through the transaction history, you can see that, the transactions were all from Binance US hot wallet, which is another interesting sort of piece to look at. And most of those transactions, if not all of them, were 3 months ago. So yeah, for me, we had something very similar with Cardano, in the respect that we stumbled across the fact that there were these whales that didn't have identifying names attached to them, and were all full right up to capacity, really, with I think it was 32 million ADA. And we were saying, could this be Coinbase? And I guess could this be Coinbase? And I guess we're saying the same thing here, right? We're seeing the same thing as what we saw back then, and we all know now, even though we were ridiculed for that video because it was so early, it wasn't going to happen. We now know that it has happened, right? So we're normally spot on. We kind of called the fact that Cardano was imminent. We called Anchor as being imminent, and it was literally the next day. And this is kind of one of the other projects that is looking like it's edging closer. It might not be one of the next ones because we don't know what they've got to do to validate everything and get everything over the line, but we know they're in talks. We can see this wallet that's uniquely sat between Binance and crypto.com. It's institutional level, so we know it's very unlikely that it's going to be just an individual holder. So yeah, it looks like it could be Coinbase, and I guess it's an educated guess. But there are other coins that have the potential to also go on Coinbase. So just because we're seeing this now doesn't mean it's imminent in a matter of weeks. But it might not be that far away. I think that's the point I'm trying to make. You've got Harmony One also in talks with Coinbase. I believe you've got 𝗕𝗘 as well, also in talks with Coinbase. So there's lots going on, and I imagine that Coinbase are going to want to increase the value, ready for the 14th when they IPO, right? So I imagine there'll be a few more coins added. I know there was a few added the other day. I expect more to be added.
Absolutely. I think you're actually spot on there. The more coins that they can take custody of, the higher their IPO will eventually become, the more transaction fees, all of that business model kind of starts to increase in value. So the IPO will be worth more. So definitely something to be considering here. They are wanting to onboard everything and anything that they can verify as quickly as they can, as long as that means that they're going to not affect their IPO negatively, but only positively. So they'll be doing things carefully. They'll be doing their due diligence, and it could be, not right as Chris says, not imminently, but in due course. We have an unnamed wallet here with quite a substantial amount of VET tokens in it. And it's going to be interesting to see how it all unfolds. And hopefully we will eventually see that VET token launch on the Coinbase platform. And that will be massive for the project. It's going to see a much wider adoption of the VET token, generally speaking, because it is the first place that a lot of newcomers are going to go. VeChain and the VET token is usually relatively affordable in comparison to some other altcoins out there. So it's going to get a lot of interest that way. And when people start researching just how good of a platform the VeChain is and what they're actually doing in the real world, I feel that that is going to push the the project to much closer to that top 10 position. I do genuinely feel that it should be. So definitely something to be watching out for, guys. A bit of speculation, but I do think that we are going to start to see us edge closer and closer to a Coinbase listing with the VET token. And with that said, if you found this useful, informative, maybe even entertaining at times, hit that like button. We both really do appreciate that. And of course, if you're wanting to stay up to date with all of those hidden gems, new cryptocurrencies that we do here at Cheeky Crypto, then do consider subscribing to the channel. By subscribing, you will be kept up to date with everything we do here, and it is free and you'll be kept well informed. So why not? And with that being said, we hope everyone has a fantastic day, and we'll catch you all in the next one.
Yeah, take care.